I never thought of her as a person who needed to change herself at all. There's nothing wrong there, but it may not be weight for some people, but there is something that we feel like we ought to try to change about ourselves.
You can call me Rockstar.
Bridget Jones.
But you can call her Mummy.
Renée, how do you get back into Bridget after so long?
Well, I moved to London, and I started hanging out with all her friends, and she slowly starts to show up, you know?
I mean, you played this iconic character. This is the fourth time now over, a couple decades. Do people mix you two up?
I mix us up. I mean, like a lot of people, I think, I see myself in this character. It's, you know, Helen Fielding's gift to tap into these things that feel universally relatable.
I think it's one of the reasons that we all love Bridget so much is that we all see a lot of us in her character.
Yes.
I mean, is there something in particular that you identify and go, oh my God, I don't know where I end and Bridget begins now?
Oh, sure. Fake it till you make it. Her awkwardness and the inner dialogue is very familiar, you know, and it feels similar, you know, when you play it and when you experience it. It's hard to distinguish.
I heard on set that you would stay in the accent even when the camera stopped rolling. Is that part of how you get into character?
Oh, sure, yeah. It's, you know, that's where it all starts. I start pretending like I know how to speak like her. And it's really weird and bad for a while, and then it, you know, starts to be more familiar. It's just a habit, really. And I guess I really think it's lazy more than anything, because I don't want to have to start over every day.
And Leo and Chiwetel, what is it like joining this cast of people who have been together for so long? I mean, is it like coming into a family and going, hey, I'm the cousin you didn't know about?
Yeah. Yeah. And she's got lots of cousins. That, you know, it's wonderful. I think it's a great gift to join this wonderful party of Bridgeters. I'm really grateful, and it was just such a good time.
I heard you were a big fan of the first movie growing up.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite quote?
Favorite quote. You say it a lot, but it is going to be a real fight. It has to be. It's one of the. It's
great. I mean, there's so many, but that is a great moment.
Or Mr. Tis Pervert.
Tis pervert.
Was that one of your favourite ones to say?
Tis pervert.
Well, Renée, I'm wondering if you still remember the end of this line. Equally important, will find nice, sensible boyfriend and stop forming romantic attachments to any of the following.
Emotional F-wits.
You can swear. It's fine.
I can?
We're in Australia, it's fine, yeah.
That's right. Emotional fuckwits. Gosh, okay, let me go back, because it's a while ago. Okay, can you
start you off?
Yeah, one more time.
Alcoholics,
workaholics, emotional fuckwits. Sexaholics, emotional fuckwits. Okay.
Sexaholics, commitment phobics, megalomaniacs, emotional fuckwits,
yes.
and perverts.
Perverts. Yes. Brilliant.
And not continue to form romantic attachments to any of the following: alcoholics, workaholics, commitment phobics, peeping toms, megalomaniacs, emotional fuckwits, or perverts.
Speaking of, Hugh Grant is back in this film.
And to sum it up, over to you.
What was it like having him back in as Daniel Cleaver?
Hooray! Hooray! I love working with you. It's so much fun.
Ever fancied doing it in the dark with a total stranger? No, all right then. Perhaps not a total stranger.
He's hilarious. And who doesn't love Daniel Cleaver?
Oh my gosh.
But no.
The aging sex pest facing his own mortality.
He's
it's great.
still all the things on that list.
But now he's a part of Bridget's life and the kids' lives.
Isn't that lovely?
And one thing that I, as a fan, really want to know, I mean, Daniel Cleaver and Mark Darcy hated each other. And now we see Bridget's kids, have him in their lives. Daniel Cleaver's their babysitter. Did Mark and Daniel reconcile their differences before he died?
I would imagine.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine. You know, there's the most unlikely people become your nearest and dearest in life. And I love what this relationship became. Yeah, I'm sure he was in there before.
Really, it feels that
Yeah,
way.
it feels that way. Yeah.
I mean, how do you think Bridget would have reacted when she found out that he was alive after attending his funeral?
I think it would have been, like, of course, if anybody was going to find a way to be reincarnated and come back from the dead, it would definitely be Daniel Cleaver.
Still shagging anything that moves.
As a matter of fact, no shagging whatsoever. I'm in shag therapy.
Speaking of relationships, we obviously have two new ones in this film. One being a bit of an age gap relationship with a younger man. It's a bit of a topic at the moment. I mean, Leo, why do you think we're, as a culture, so obsessed with men dating the older women?
I don't think we are obsessed with it. I think it's just that we're not, as a sort of society, we're not used to it. It's not really been portrayed that much on screen, so it's seeming to be new, but it's not. It's kind of been around for so long that hopefully people will just get more used to it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, it's beautiful to see on the film. I really wanted to get into one thing from, the first movie, the book even, Bridget's weight was such a part of her character and how she obsessed over it. And in this movie, it was really refreshing to go that, oh, that's not actually something that Bridget's thinking about. What was the decision behind that?
Well, I mean, there's going to be an obvious evolution because she's moved on in her life and she has a lot of responsibilities. She doesn't have the luxury of obsessing about certain things that she might have in the past. I think that with respect to that, I always saw it as sort of representative of the thing that we all do. It wasn't necessarily that she needed to change anything about herself. It's just that she found the thing about herself that she was going to pick on.
Yeah.
And I think it was kind of Helen speaking back to all of the noise at that time that women of a particular age were being bombarded with through, social messages and media and from families and friends about expectations for what you're supposed to look like and what you're supposed to achieve on what timeline. And so, she's taking up the responsibility of, yes, okay, we'll count calories and we'll stop doing all of these things that I'm meant to not do because they're meant to be bad for me. But she doesn't really do anything to change her life. She's not really interested in that, but, she's going to, And I never thought of her as a person who needed to change herself at all. There's nothing wrong there, but it may not be weight for some people, but there is something that we feel like we ought to try to change about ourselves, or that we wish we could, so that we felt that we measured up or were more, fitting of the social norm or the paradigm, right? And I think that is part of what's so relatable, is we get that. We see ourselves in that struggle of trying to conform in some way to something that we might not even really want to be, And it's liberating that when she eschews that and she's her most vulnerable and authentic, messy self, she triumphs. It's inspirational.
That's beautiful. One final question. The famous Christmas jumper.
Yes.
We saw it again in this movie. Who has it now?
Oh, do you mean in real life or in the film?
Who's stolen it? Has anyone stolen it from set?
Oh, that's good. That's a good question. Maybe Colin has it. I wonder. Maybe he does. Wouldn't that be nice?
I love it. There's the scoop.